2017 Ordinary Level Technical Graphics, Question 1, Orthographic Projection. The figure shows a design for a toy tugboat. A 3D graphic is also shown. Draw an elevation in the direction of arrow A, a plan projected from the elevation, and insert any 4 dimensions. So with drawing any orthographic projection question, I think it's always important to set up the maximum size of the box first. So how big is each view? Make sure you have enough space on your page for each view. So I'm going to just draw in my ground line, my XY line, and I'm going to draw a rectangle for each view. So I just need 2 views, the elevation and the plan. I don't need an end view. So the elevation is 195 millimeters long, and it is 100 millimeters tall. For the plan, I'm going to leave 20 millimeters between the plan and the elevation. The length of the object is going to stay the same. And then the depth is 70 plus 10 plus 10, so 90 millimeters. I'm going to start by drawing the elevation and drawing the general shape of the boat. So the first part of it is that the sides of the boat come up a height of 35 millimeters, and that runs the entire length of it. So I'm going to draw that in first. I'll draw everything in lightly, and then we can darken bits in as necessary. So that's the first part of it. Next, I'm going to find the position for the wheelhouse, the cab of it. And that is going to be based on where the front of the boat. So the boat points in at the front, and in line with that, which is 70 millimeters back from the front, so I can draw that in as well, that's the very front of the wheelhouse. So I can draw that line up along there. That comes back a distance of 35, that's the radius 35 that we see. And then it's going to slope down along this way. Distance that it slopes, or how far back it slopes, is 25 millimeters. So from here to here, 25 millimeters, and I can join those two down, and that gives me the slope at the back of the boat. A bit of a window to put in, so that window is vertically down from that point, and it's down a height of 30 millimeters. So 30 millimeters from the top. And that gives me the window. So we're a long way into getting this question finished now. So we've got the wheelhouse drawn lightly, got the boat, the pointy piece of the boat. Then there's one final piece, which is in here. There's a landing area, a work area. So that's 15 millimeters down from the top. And it comes in a distance here of 30 millimeters, so we can't see it from the view for elevation, so we're going to have to put it in as hidden detail. So it's a dotted line. And with that done, we can darken in the rest of the shape in the elevation. And that completes the elevation of this question. Plan is done. We're going to project all our points down from up in the elevation. So it's 90 millimeters wide, so that's going to be halfway is going to be 45, so we need to find that. That's important. And we can draw a light line across the center of our plan. And with that, we can find the pointy piece at the front of the boat. So this is the very front center, and it's going to start from here going forward on either side. So what we'll put in now is the work area that we just drew here as hidden detail a moment ago. So again, it's only going to come in 30 millimeters this way. And it's 10 millimeters in on either side. So if you mark 10 millimeters here and here, we can draw in our work area at the back of the boat. Now we're almost there with this, so the final few parts is we must draw the cab, the wheelhouse. So that's coming down along this way. It has the same width as this piece, so in 10 from either side. So this line here is the top where that edge is, and this line here is the bottom where the sloping edge comes down and it meets the body of the boat. So almost there. One final piece now is to draw the semicircular part of the wheelhouse. And that completes the elevation and plan. Final part of this is to put in 4 dimensions. So the final part is, it says insert any 4 dimensions. So to do that, all we're going to do is we're going to draw a line out from, so leaving a small gap. So just make it a little bit clearer. So leaving a small gap coming so a horizontal line, going to extend that on but leaving a small gap between it. Same up here. And then we're going to draw a line between the two. Put arrows at either end of it. And you can either put a space in the middle of your line and write in the dimension there, which is 90. So that's one dimension in. Another one we can put in above it up here. So again, drawing a small light line coming out from the back, and down here also. Draw a line between the two, so I'm going to leave a gap this time halfway along it where I can put in the dimension, put in a small arrow at either end, and write in the height, which is 35 millimeters. Okay, so again, you can do something like this up here at the front. Distance, line out along here, so your line has to come all the way out until it's outside of the object totally. Small gap, space in the middle, arrow at each end, and then we'll write in the measurement, which is 70 millimeters. So that's 3 measurements. Putting in the same here on this side would not count. Putting it in up here also wouldn't count. So we need to put in a different dimension, and that dimension could be this one here. So we could extend this line out, and here also, and get a dimension for this part of it, leaving a gap in the middle. So try keep it consistent. And that dimension was 30. And that completes this question, which is the 2017 Ordinary Level Question 1.